क्या बकवास है ये? क्या बकवास है ये?
आपकी आवाज़ इसके मुंह से अच्छी लगती है ना?
ये आवाज एक कुत्ते के मुंह से भी अच्छी लगी।
This film touches on themes of aging for actors, which many actors are shy away from. They don't ever want to be seen to be getting old. How has it been for you developing in your career to these different sort of roles, and how do you feel about aging today?
I think that most actors who go through this long period must indeed have to contend with the fact that they're going to age, that they're not going to have the same kind of popularity or attention from the audiences during the time when they were younger and perhaps more popular. And that somebody else who's younger and more popular will take their place or be ahead of them. When you enter a restaurant, you may not be noticed, but the other person will. When you go to a public arena, the roar from the audience is going to be larger for someone who is younger and who's more popular than what you may have experienced earlier on. If you can contend with that, and that is something that is inevitable, you carry on working. I feel that it's a very natural process. I can't possibly be playing a young student going to college and falling in love and singing romantic songs. I'll have to play roles which are commensurate with my age. I'm fortunate that I still get some work, and I'm fortunate that I'm happy to be doing the kind of roles that they give me. It's also brought on a lot of variety in the kind of roles that I get now. Earlier on, it was just the leading man who came and wooed the leading lady and rode off into the sunset. But now I feel that I get different characters who look different, who behave differently, and get an opportunity to behave differently. And as an actor, that's very challenging and good.
Part of the film was shot right here in London, and you have a long history of spending time in London. How was it filming here, and what's your relationship to London?
Well, London's become like home. There's a very vast and large community that lives here, and there's a great feeling of comfort when you come here. You don't feel you're an alien. The understanding really amongst the general people of England, of United Kingdom, to give that space, to give that understanding when a film is being shot. We don't quite have that in our own country because we have huge issues with crowds in our country, and that's inevitable because that's their love and affection for the artists. But that's what we like when we come here. We've never had that problem, and people are very understanding to the fact that they need to get out of the frame or they need to be quiet or whatever.
Whenever we think of cinema in the UK, Indian cinema, it's often called Bollywood. Whether it's independent film, whether it's Hindi film. You in the past have been critical of the term Bollywood. Could you explain why you don't like the term Bollywood?
It's Indian cinema. Why should it be compared to any other name? It's just some smart journalist who, corrupted this word. And now it's in the Oxford Dictionary, so it's going to be there for eternity. But yeah, I think Indian film industry is good enough for me.
The other side of the pond is the American film industry, and you made your debut quite late in career in The Great Gatsby. Tell me how that experience was, and are there any plans to act in any more Hollywood or British films?
The experience was amazing. A huge learning graph for me, and I'm sure for anyone associated with cinema. The research, the detailing, of course, the access to the best technology. For this 1 minute sequence, he called Leonardo and Tobey Maguire, the two, unbelievably popular stars and, stratospheric stars of the universe, to come and just rehearse with me for 7 days in his home. So we just kept repeating this 1 minute scene over and over and over again. And then the whole cast assembles on the floor of the studio, the entire cast, which means even the driver who's driving a vehicle, he's there. And we read the entire script sitting down. And then he says, okay, now I want you to enact what you feel you should be doing. If you want to move, get up and move. So we did that, and all this is being recorded. And then he says, okay, you go and grab a sandwich and come back quickly. We all came back. And there's a live audience of 40 people sitting in the studio, which he's picked up from the street. And we have to do the whole thing again. And then he puts a question to this audience. He says, what do you think about it? And there are opinions made, and there are suggestions made. I mean, this is, you never see this kind of thing. But better still, he will ask his entire cast and crew to comment on a fellow actor's performance. So I would say something about, say, Leonardo DiCaprio, which is a sacrilege in some sense. But he would then say something about me. And all of this is not just, you know, vacant talk, it's actually incorporated. And he thinks about it and he puts it across. For another actor, especially somebody of Leonardo's standing, to be thinking about another lesser actor and wanting to add something to that because it was going to help the project, that was amazing. That was really quite amazing.
So would you do it again? Would you come maybe to a British film this time?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you know, we're always open to working in any kind of, but, you know, there haven't been any offers. But if there is something suitable, yes, I would love to.